All right, so here's what's going to happen with gun control. Joe Biden, I love this. Joe Biden is going to recommend to that guy exactly what weapons should be banned on Tuesday. So they're waiting in the Oval Office for Joe Biden to get back to them with his recommendations. Does anybody think that's actually the news of the day? Does anybody think that Joe Biden that anybody is actually waiting for anything that Joe Biden has produced? I don't even think his doctors are really interested in the stool sample they would ask him for from time to time. Nobody's waiting for anything that he's producing, and I think the stool sample is the only thing that he could actually produce. This guy is a complete buffoon, and they're trying to have us believe now that, well, he's going to come up with that list of all the things that should be banned. And then the president is going to look at it, and they're going to have a good, strong discussion. Bull crap they are. Bull crap. You know it, and I know it. Now, here's the other thing that's happening on Capitol Hill. The Republicans are also coming out with new warning labels for the video games in Hollywood. Oh, new warning labels. Yes, and we're probably going to have to tighten down and have tougher restrictions on and penalties for those who sell violent video games to kids. Oh, okay. All right. That's going to be good. Whew. Glad we had that one. Does anybody think? Nobody is talking about the family. Nobody's talking about personal responsibility. Nobody's talking about the fact that violent crime has gone down. Violent crime in schools, down. Nobody is talking about, hey, maybe you should just decide to spend more time with your kids instead of having them on the internet or on the video games. Instead, what are we doing? See, this is why I hate the Republicans and the Democrats. Instead of talking about personal responsibility and the facts of what violence does, not to adults, but to children, what it does when you're still hardwiring your brain, what it does, instead of having that conversation and then saying, that's why you as a parent should not do these things. But we're not going to regulate it. We're just going to talk as a society on what we should be doing. Instead, we're immediately going to regulation. So one side is saying, what we need to do is regulate the guns. And the other one's saying, what we should do is regulate Hollywood. Neither of those are good ideas. One is restricting the First Amendment, and the other one is restricting the Second Amendment. Oh, gee, which poison would I like to drink today? No, thank you. No, thank you. That's why I, for one, cannot watch the news anymore. I'm a guy building a news network, and I can't watch the news anymore.
I don't think I've turned on Fox since election night.
I haven't.
I just can't.
I can't do it.
And I certainly haven't watched any of the other ones.
Nope.
I just and every time I happen to be around a TV when anybody like that guy comes on it, I turn the channel.
Can I tell you something?
Just can't do
I think of the only time I've turned on the news, with an exception of The Blaze, and there's not a call for me to turn on the news because I see The Blaze all day. I mean, I'm watching it. I've had it in the office and everything else. So maybe we're slightly different. But the only time I read the news, but the only time I've watched any news, I think if I've turned on a cable company after the election, I think I've watched CNN. And only in very small doses. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. Because I know I'm going to get the screaming and yelling. And CNN, maybe if it's breaking news, I'll turn it over there. I think that's where I turned over for the shooting.
I think there's millions who feel this way. I think the election crushed our spirit so badly that I just can't. I mean, it just devastated us.
You want the news? Let me give you the news from, the future. Here's future news. This is what's going to happen. Right now, because we have the regulation of the First Amendment and the regulation of the Second Amendment being debated, And thank goodness we've got Lindsey Graham on our side. Lindsey Graham and Republicans like him are currently saying, we're not going to do anything that is going to restrict guns. But you watch. They'll come up with something that will, limit Hollywood violence. It'll limit these violent video games. And then Lindsey Graham will come out. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that maybe, I'm not for gun control at all, but then we had this compromise on Hollywood, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to, I had to do it because I want to be able to get this for Hollywood. I want to be able to get these violent video games out of people's houses.
I didn't realize you had a Lindsey Graham in you.
Yeah,
that
was
good,
really good.
That was stunningly accurate.
That's exactly, it was done with more bile than skill. But it was, that's exactly what's going to happen. They will compromise because they'll put some sort of anti-Hollywood or anti-video game bullcrap in some sort of legislation.
It'll be just that, too. It'll be a new...
we're going to put a new label. We got
it'll
a new
be a label, or it'll
I,
be a new rating system.
I got a new label because it'll say definitely not for kids, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that definitely not for kids.
And right now, people can't tell because it only says that it's for teens.
And
what does that mean?
Let me tell you something. I'm good friends with John McCain, and John McCain and I, we've been working on this for a long, long time. Ugh, I can't watch it. That's what's going to happen.